Well, I'd like to say a big hello and welcome to our YouTube friends. You have just gone live. Welcome, as I said before, to our Facebook friends out there. This is the Friday Night League. It's round number 7 here at Monza. I have a special guest with me in the commentary box tonight. His name is Blake, and he'll be joining us for Season 3. So we're going to get a great insight from a driver tonight on what is going to be going through everybody's heads. But we're still waiting for the official lobby to open and the boys to get ready. So once that's done, the big Friday Night League logo will disappear and we'll get straight into the action with the qualifying. And we will go from there. Don't forget, the championship is on the line. We've got Zen and Marcus Watson tied on points, 169 each apiece. So it's literally anyone's game. And it could be even a third contender tonight when we do the maths later on. So don't go anywhere. We're just waiting for everything to get started. But as always, it's going to be a great one. We'll be right back. Not long to go here, folks. My name's Josh from Demo and Garage. We're just waiting for the lobby to open. But it's giving everyone a chance to settle in and get their head around what is on offer tonight. It's going to be a big race. And we've got all the stats ready for you to go. We're just waiting to hear from the lobby owners themselves and we get this started. Hopefully not too much longer. But I know a lot of you out there are ready for it. I know I am, because it's going to be, we're going to find a winner tonight. So who's out there at Platinum Races Paddock watching should be able to see the chat tonight. So I can actually talk back to you guys for once, which will be good. Now Blake's with us. If you're there, Blake, say hello and introduce yourself to our audience out there.
Hello, everyone. Very excited to be here. It should be a pretty exciting race with 3 championship contenders. A very moderate, feisty battle through the middle of the pack. So I'm pretty excited to be here tonight.
Now, what's going through your head as a driver? They're going to be at Monza. What are you doing at this moment, just before the race starts? Really, are you going over anything in your head? Are you writing things down? What happens?
Really just get into the mindset. Imagine what sort of lap you're going to record for quality. It's probably the best way to get some practice as well without actually, applying your skills on the actual sim racing. So I reckon for the contenders tonight, you can't make silly mistakes during the race.
I like it. I like it. I'm sure there's a lot of different things people like to do. But we are still waiting. So, unfortunately, that's just the case with the live streams. I plan it to go at 8:45. They're not always ready, but at least it gives you guys an opportunity to not miss the race. I've just received my invitation for the lobby, so we're going to get things started. And hello, YouTube guys. Sorry, I've just dropped the chat. I'll get you back in a second. Craig Watson's out there watching, and he's obviously going for Marcus Watson. Alright, so there you can see, there's our lobby ready to go, so we're just waiting for them to ready up and go, go, go. It's going to be a short qualifying, as they call it. 50% race distance. The car performance is all equal, but they divvy out the car selection off their previous season's performance. So that's why you usually see the cars equal to their sort of finishing results in real life. Now, Blake, you're with us tonight. That means you'll probably be starting in a Williams or a McLaren for Season 3, am I right?
Yeah, that will be correct. So there's a lot of drivers fighting for their seat in their team tonight, so that should add to the atmosphere in this last race.
Yeah, because it basically means if you do well, you get promoted. Don't do so great, you might be driving in a car that you don't necessarily want to be in. So yeah, even the car manufacturer these guys race for next year is on the line. So it's a very important race, this grand final, and we can't be that far away now, surely. But I'm really excited to get this one done. I've been waiting for this since we ended Spa last week. Apologies about that. We had some weird disconnect issue, which we had at Paul Ricard in, I think it was the first or second race. So, Codemasters, fix your game, please, because I'd really like to see the end of this one tonight. And I know there's a lot of you out there that would as well. So, cross our fingers, guys. Now, I know there's guys on YouTube watching. I'm just getting the chat up. For some reason, it's taking forever to get it back. So, just bear with me a little bit longer tonight. Just waiting and waiting and waiting. Shouldn't be much longer. I don't think they'll let it go past 10 o'clock, so we've at least only got 5 minutes left to wait. But that means you'll get to see the full qualifying and the entire race in its entirety. And like I said, a tight one. Let's go over some of the numbers. I'll do that very shortly. But 2 tight drivers on the top, and I bet you can't guess who they are. We've got Jack and Darkness out there taking too long. It's just the nature sometimes of online racing. It's one of those things. But welcome back, Jack. It's good to see you again, buddy. So I think I've got all the chat rooms open that I need. I think they're waiting on us, to be honest. If you're there, Blake, you should be in the lobby, I think. Darkness here at school right now. What a better way to spend your school day than watching the best grand final you'll find in Formula 1 ever. I'm not sure what's going on here. Here we go. Now, Blake, the first thing you do as a driver, and you're sitting in the garage at this moment, are you doing any last setup changes? Or are you just waiting to see what the rest of the field's doing? What do you do? What would you do?
Well, basically, I get a lot of practice before I enter these sorts of situations. So I've already got a setup ready to go for me to qualify. So I just sit in the garage, just getting the right mindset to pump out a good lap time.
I like it. Yeah, because I always wondered, I always see a lot of drivers sitting there for a while, and I was wondering if they're just sitting in there waiting to see what the times come out like. Or maybe some of them are, I don't know, tweaking settings, but yeah, it's good insight there.
Yeah, it differs from driver to driver. Obviously, some of them won't be completely confident with their setup. You know, if it's too loose, they're going to make some little changes to mitigate the rear not hanging out a bit. Clearly.
Now, tyre strategy. 1 stops, I think, are on the cards here tonight. I don't think there's any other stop strategy that will work. Super softs to mediums, soft to mediums, or medium to soft. What would you... Oh, it's raining in quali. Jeez, that's going to mix it up. That's really going to... Wow, okay. That must suck as a driver, honestly. It's going to be great for us. Now,
I guess you could see a bit of a mix-up in this quali session here. I reckon some of the mid-pack guys might, be able to record a good lap in quality. With a change of weather.
Yeah, this is really going to, I don't know, change it up a lot for a lot of people. Before we get going, I'm going to quickly go over the drivers for you so you can see what the situation is. But there you can see Zen and Marcus on the top with the same amount of points. And then it's Yayo down in third there. It's mathematically possible for Yayo to come out on top too, depending where the other two finish. So that's really interesting. Now, who's out on track? We've got TLP, Hawks on an outlap on intermediates. We've seen China 91 tonight and out on intermediates. Marcus Watson, he's one to watch. What's he on? He's on the green stripe as well. So, yeah. Do you know, have you been racing much of these guys at all? Do you know who's better in the wet or not? Or is it a learning experience for you? It's like we're all learning right now.
Well, I haven't really driven the wet with any of these guys. I reckon, you look at Yayo, I reckon he'll be the wet weather specialist, right? So, but it's what he needs to be able to stay in contention. So I reckon if he can get the pole here, he'll have a good chance at winning the race outright and hoping things go his way. Yeah, I reckon Zen will also have a good wet weather mentality, I reckon. No, and obviously Marcus Watson as well, but I can't distinguish any of the other guys.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Here comes Marcus now on his first lap. Let's see what he can do. He's one to watch tonight. I know, Craig, you'll be out there cheering that we're watching Marcus. And hello, Cuba, as well. So, Marcus into the first set of chicanes. A little bit of a back end out there for him. You can see some of the cars are really starting to crawl around. It must be getting really wet out there. We don't know what time to expect. Now, the dry time we were expecting, I do have it here. Yell it at me if you know It's 1:19.2, so that's predicted pole time. Yeah, 1:19.2. So we're going to match Raikkonen's world record, but we're not going to do that in the wet. So through the Lesmos comes Marcus now. He'll get another straight bit of road. DRS down here. There's lots of yellow flags going out, so people are tiptoeing around, struggling. One of the heavier braking zones now. It's really early on the brakes there. Oh, you can see the car just wants to flick out. Marcus is doing a fantastic job of controlling it. And here he comes around now. He's going to get TLP's done a 1:30.4. Marcus, what can he do for us? It's a 1:29.8. So that's the time we need beat. Hawks has actually done that just immediately. He's done another very close time. 1:28.849. So some interesting results at the moment. Out there watching ZenRazo. Now he's been the benchmark setter all season long, so I guess as a driver, Blake, he's someone you sort of look out for as a goal to reach.
Yeah, of course. Always fight the be at the front end of the grid, but obviously it's going to come with experience in this league because I got much more experience than me in these cars, so it's going to be a massive learning curve.
Yeah, how are you gonna? Because there's talk of taking ABS and traction control off for the new season. Is that gonna bother you?
Well, I'm fine with that because I drive a lot of V8 supercars on project cars, and pretty fast with that without the electronic assist and all that. So I'm pretty confident I can be able to adapt pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say if you can chuck a V8 supercar around Bathurst without DC or ABS and you're getting close to the real times, I think you'll be fine in these ones as well. Because that takes some skill. Using a wheel, I would imagine.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. What's your wheel you use?
So concurrently, I have a Logitech G29, but I did previously have a T300, which blew up.
Oh right, yeah, they're pretty common wheels. I know I started with a G29 myself, so if you're out there starting, it's actually a really good wheel to start with if you're not sure how much you're going to use it as well. But we're just seeing now Sean's coming out on wet, so Marcus has done another lap as we were watching Zen. He's put in a 1:28.6, but Zen here's had a pretty clean looking run now. And he's about to set a time. What is it? A 28.5. 3/100ths quicker at the moment than Marcus Watson. So it's on, and it's on like Donkey Kong here at Monza. Can't wait for this one, I honestly can't. Now, if the race is all wet, they should theoretically get through the whole race on the wet. So, Cougar's in the wall there. I wonder what happened with him. He's trying to get back on track. He's been reset. So he's in sector 2, so where was that? Second chicane, I think, just before the Lesmo. So Yayo is in his garage right now, just watching a Red Bull exit. This is Ferrarins in the Haas, and he's on another flying lap. He's done 2 so far, and we've only seen Sean out there on the wet, so it must be a tricky. Ferrarins very wide. Goes 6th quickest. It must be pretty tricky to determine when you go from intermediates to wets, because it's quite a difference in lap times. Are there any telltale signs you look for when you think maybe it's a little bit too wet? I should probably go to the blue stripes.
Well, I reckon if the race line is distinguished in the wet, I reckon you could probably get away with going with intermediates. But if you can't see that distinguishment of the race line, I reckon it is definitely time for the full wets. Nice.
You can see the rain there coming in sideways, so it's there's a lot of wind about too. That's really going to upset the car's aerodynamic performance a lot. So that's probably playing into a lot of the yellow flags we're seeing around the track. Plus, I'm sure not many of them practice this in the wet. So they're all learning the track limits and the edge of grip as they go out. Dr. Aussie's in tonight in the Renault. He's currently 3 seconds down off our leader, which is Zen. Marcus is 5/10 off Zen. So Marcus has some time to make up if he wants to get that top spot. He was beat last week, obviously, by Zen. He was going for 5 in a row, but he was beaten to it. I think, was he beaten to it last week at the last minute by Zen? I'm pretty sure it was, because I'm pretty sure there was a record that Marcus was going for there. So let's see what Aussie can do. It's looking very gloomy. And he'll come up to the chicane, get it turned in. He doesn't want to ride on those curbs too much because they're very slippery in the wet, especially those white painted lines. You always hear, you even see it. You see cars lose control once they hit those lines. And he's coming up to Parabolica. The last turn here, the famous Italian circuit, the Tifosi. Be to his left. And here we go. What can Aussie put in? 8.5 minutes to go. It's 8th quickest. Let's get the time exactly. Fastest lap from Aussie was a 1:35. So there you can see Zen with a 1:28.0 and then Marcus with the 1:28.6. Hawks is not too far behind. And then it's the Cougar up in 4th spot. So the track's looking really busy now. We've got a lot of people exiting pits, coming out. Intermediates still the tyre of choice at the moment.
No, I think you'll find in obviously the wet, you won't actually see like the pole time come up until the last 2 minutes because there's still going to be, you know, changes like on the drive with your car setup to help suit to the track conditions.
That's true. But I'd also think if it gets wetter as the qualifying session goes on, you would also expect maybe there's times to get slower. But if it's drying up, then getting that last minute time in will really be beneficial for somebody. So if you can time that right, you can really exploit a drying track. But if it's getting wetter, which I don't think it's letting up, I don't know what you think, but it still looks quite heavy out there.
It looks quite heavy, but I can still see the racing line, so I reckon, yeah, keep with the intermediates until you can't see that.
All right. Here goes Sean. He's going to get a lap done. We've just been watching him. He does. It's a 1:36.9. It's way off the pace. And Nicholas, go Hawks. Bring it home for Red Bull. Secure that P2, brother. So Hawks got a fan out there. And there he is. I think he just caused a yellow flag coming out of Ascari. But he's currently sitting on a 1:28.849. And that was done on the intermediates. So there's not long left now. We've just got over 6 minutes left in this qualifying session. It's really throwing things up for us here tonight with a wet one. Now, we sometimes get the weather forecast. So I don't know if it's going to be a dry race or not, but the drivers will know. But it doesn't really matter at the moment because they just got to do it in the wet. So it's going to be very interesting. Now, some points to talk about tonight. Like I said, the race distance is 27 laps and the predicted tyre strategies, if it was dry, all one stops. A soft, super soft to medium where they'd pit around 6 to 10. That's going to increase if we do have a dry one, obviously, because they're going to be new tyres. Soft to medium, lap 11 to 15, or a medium to soft, which sometimes can throw up a little bit of a curveball for you. Just to do with blistering and thermal degradation and things like that. And even the ERS. That'll be a very tricky one here. I don't know. Have you raced it yourself, Blake? And how do you find trying to recover energy with all the long straights and little braking zones here at Monza?
To me, I've been practicing a lot lately, considering I'll make a debut next season, but I've got no clue what the ERS really does. So very new to it.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, it's a new feature to the game. Obviously, they have it in real life. So it's the energy recovery system that they use. And I can't KERS as well, the kinetic energy recovery system. I've totally forgotten my terminology. I've only been out of F1 for like a month, whatever it is. Basically, it harvests the heat energy and the braking energy, puts it into a battery, and that can be done under braking. And then they can use the battery power for a little bit of an extra boost down the straights. But you harvest the energy when you're coming under the brakes and turning into corners. So with not so many braking zones, there's not a lot of opportunity to recover energy. So they really have to be careful about where they deploy it and how long for, and it gets quite technical.
Guess the first 2 chicanes is where you'll gather the most energy, but
well, that's
everywhere
true.
else is very hard to.
So watching Yayo, he's in 7th, and I think this is his quick lap at the moment. You can see it's looking a bit slidey, still very wet. I don't think the rain's, I don't know if the track's getting a little bit wetter, so Yayo might be out a little bit too late. But you can still see that racing line, which Blake was happy with. Car will get out of his way and come up towards Parabolica now. On the brakes, carefully enters. You can see the car wants to go loose and keep turning through there. He's done a great job. Yeah, he goes on to 129.9 at the moment. Crosses the line, and I don't think he's improved it there. So still a 129.773, and Zen's still our leader at the moment. Very interesting. So I'm going to go over the notes Zen told me about the ERS KERS and etc. for those playing at home, and I'll read it. So thank you very much, ZenRazo. He's a brilliant guy. Gives me these great notes every week. And it says, the lack of significant braking zone offers up a new problem for the modern hybrid F1 car in terms of ERS harvesting, or energy recovery system. So much time can be gained on the long straights by using high levels of ERS deployment. But with only the first and second chicanes, as Blake also pointed out, as decent harvesting points, it quickly becomes unsustainable. Deployable battery energy will be at a premium, so smart ERS management will be key to maintaining a good race pace. So there you go. The drivers have got one additional thing to think about today. While they're trying to come to grips with the wet track, they're going to be very busy. Very, very busy. So, 1.5 minutes to go. Zen's our leader. Yayo, let's see if he can do another time, or is he going to come into the pits? I'm sure he's going to want to try beat 7th. But I think the wet conditions have really played that massive trump card here. He's done a little bit better on, he's gone 5th. And he might go for another one, why not? Well, Marcus is down in 4th there. I didn't see, but Ferrari and Hawks and Zen have all come across and beaten his time. That's really going to be a good benefit for Zen. So Marcus increases that there, as you saw, 128.238. So he's done a lot better, and he's done that with only 57 seconds to go. You might as well chuck in another lap here at this point. I mean, you might as well, hey, because it's all wet. Who cares? It doesn't really matter. It's not like we're using soft tyres or anything.
No, of course not. If the chances of it being wet in the race, I reckon, is pretty low.
Yeah, so we're actually waiting to see what happens with the weather here. The drivers will know, but I haven't heard word from them. So this is Zen at the moment. He's a current pole sitter in the Mercedes with a 128.088 here at a wet Monza. And I'm going to quickly show you the points again, because this is what they're fighting for tonight here at Friday Night League. There it is on the left side of your screen. It's ZenRazo from Marcus Watson. They've got tied points. Yayo, Hawks, who could also get maybe P2 here tonight, and Yayo might even get first. Mathematically possible it is. And there you can see the rest of the field, just Ferrari's Aussie, Sean Mingman, the Cougar, and so on. But what it means where they finish tonight and in the Drivers' Championship is the car they get to drive next year. So the better they do, the better car they get in reference to the real world. ZenRazo is going to do another time. He's taken the checkered flag and he's done a great time at the end, a 1:27.937. He's got to be happy with that. Marcus is in the pits and he's going to have to accept second place. Hawks with a great run today. And he might still have a chance to improve it. He hasn't taken the checkered flag yet, so let's see what happens. Hawks is coming up to Parabolica now. It's going to be super tight here. Grimly enters Parabolica at his own risk. Puts the power down. The green flag's flying. He's going to see the checkered flag. Is it better? It is. Hawks goes second. A 1:28.084. Knocking Marcus down to the second row for the first time in this season. And in the final race, where winner literally takes all. It's Zen versus Marcus here. Zen's got a great advantage at this moment. Like to welcome all our viewers out there from Platinum Races Paddock to Demo 1 Garage on Facebook and Demo 1 Garage on YouTube as well. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Do apologise about the long wait in the beginning, but we got there in the end. We definitely got there in the end, and trust me, it's going to be a good one to watch. There's only 57 seconds left, and I think the session should be done. I don't see why we're waiting for anyone. There it is. Daily Motor GP. What's cracking? You know me. Let me know where you know me from. Nicholas Tormores. A 1:23.937. This guy's something special, he says. Can he be touched? And the Red Bull locking out the second spot. What a race we have in store. We definitely do, Nick. We definitely do. As you can see, it's Zen on the top. The Red Bull of Hawks. And for the first time, Marcus Watson will start the race on the second row of the grid. Is it a wet one, though? We're about to find out, because that's really going to play things up. And it could play into the hands of Marcus a little bit more. But just don't know. So here we go. We're about to get the lights out. And thanks for joining us tonight, Blake, as well. It's good to get your insight on a lot of things. I'm sure you can't wait to get racing with these lads next season.
Oh, of course, very eager.
Ah, Daly, you're that, right. Well, congrats on the new phone, buddy. It's good to see you again, man. It's been a long, long time. I haven't seen my YouTube family for forever. Because I got that 3-month streaming ban for showing a tweet. Remember all that? That was silly. Very silly. But here we go. We're just waiting. And cross your fingers it doesn't kick me tonight. I really hope it doesn't. Just gonna, if you can record your screen, that'd be awesome. Blake, I don't know if you're doing that already.
So we're set to go.
Cool, cool. Because yeah, if something does happen, maybe I'll just have to use some of your footage later on and use the commentate over it like that. But we'll see what happens. I really hope it doesn't happen, because this is the final. Like I said, it's Zen versus Marcus, and Yayo with a mathematical possibility of taking this championship out. It's winner takes all here at Monza. And we had a wet qualifying run, which really mixed things up a lot. Overtaking spots, turn 1, turn 4, or the Ascari chicane, turn 8. So here we go, lights are out, the race is underway. I think we've got a car stuck on the grid. But it's Zen from Hawks from Marcus. Dr. Aussie's up a spot in 4th position. And they're all now filing down towards the first chicane. Doesn't look like we've had anyone take to the runoff. They've been warned about that tonight. And it looks like they've all gotten through fairly cleanly there. So someone down. No, TLP lost a few spots there. It's then Bender as attack. Just Hunt all the way on the back end of the road. Race grid. Right now, it's ZenRazo leading us up in the Lesmos. Marcus Watson, and then Hawks trails in behind. Yayo's in behind, so they're starting. It's a dry race today, as you can see. I totally forgot to see that. But that means we're going to have a one-stop strategy. And let's see what tyres everyone has chosen. So you can see super soft to the soft. So no one. Oh, we've got a few on the medium. TLP and Just Hunt there. So the Ferraris. And one of the Saubers going for the medium decision. But the super softs is the favourite. And we're coming around to the end of the first lap here tonight. And we're just following along with Hawks. There's Marcus in second spot. He's got already Zen's got a 1.2 second lead. That's going to be, he's going to be loving that, that's for sure. Cody Kurzweil, welcome my friend into first chicane again. Marcus navigates that with ease. You can see ZenRazo's building that lead now. Quite a nice, comfortable lead, I must say, after just the first lap. Then it's Hawks. He's got that pink Force India in his sights. He's just waiting for a moment to make an overtake. This is Yayo. He needs to finish a lot higher up the grid. He needs to basically win this race and the other two to drop a few positions. I don't know if you've got that off the top of your head at all, Blake, whether he needs to finish.
So he's 24 points adrift, so he would, I think Marcus or Zen would have to come about 8.
Right, okay, so there you go. I don't have the point sheet with me, unfortunately, but that sounds about right. This is the Ming Man. He's pressuring the back end of Sean here, coming through Ascari. And I think Just Hunt's lost a position. He has, but he's not off the road. Let's see. Ming Man is going to get it done into Parabolica. They're going to be neck and neck, rubber to rubber. That's the inside line for the Renault, the Ming Man. It's going to be a drag race now. Coming down past into turn 1. DRS, I think, might be activated this lap. So he's not going to have it. He doesn't. You can see the back wing still shut. He gets it up into the turn 1. Oh, great move. It's going to be a swap over, though, for Sean. Sean is not on the power quick enough. And he has to lose the spot there to the Mig. That was a good move from the Renault man. And this is Ferrari's. On the soft tyre, he's chasing down the other Renault there. Dr. Orsi in front. Diego Matteo, he's a little bit of a gap now between him and the top 3. So I wonder if he is on the harder tyre, so to speak. The soft tyre, they're all using the super soft, so...
That's correct. I reckon he's going on a different strategy, trying to put himself out in front for a little while.
Now, I think we've just had one of the drivers in an incident, or he's lost connection, not sure, because we just lost as attack, unfortunately. No, was it Just Hunt? It came up on your screens. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, Yayo on a different strategy at the moment. There's something wrong with China. China's under pressure. Sorry, as attack. And China at the back end. They're almost bumper to bumper at the moment. It's touring car stuff here. The Williams doesn't know where he wants to put the car. The Sauber's got DRS here. Is it enough? He's going to have the outside line, but he should have it. No. Oh, the much later braking there for the Williams. He's overdone it, though. And somehow he's recovered and got that back before the end of 2. So it's Just that's out. Or he's in the pits, is he? He is. That's very early. He must have had damage there because he's getting a new nose. And he's taken on the Red Sox. So this is our leader. Sorry?
He's got more inside at the front. Hawks is pressuring Marcus Watson, and it's costing him a bit of time to catch up with ZenRazo. So this is crucial in Marcus's hopes.
Yes, you're right. Look at this. They are right now putting the pedal to the metal. Parabolica it comes. The right-hander increasing. Radial corner. It's a tricky one to get right. It looks easy. Here we go. DRS for the Red Bull. It's going to be pure engine power for the Force India. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it will. The move's already made, and that's Hawks in the second. Is Marcus seeing his title hopes fade away already? But anything can happen in F1. We're only up to lap 5, so I shouldn't say that this early. Now Nicholas watching out there, he's enjoyed that move from Hawks. It was a great one. Nice textbook maneuver. Now, the guys on the Super Soft, sorry about the street cleaner outside, you might be able to hear it. One stop for them, Super Soft to medium, lap 6 to 10. So, in a lap time, we might see people come in. I'll just mute my mic for a second. Sorry about that, very loud street sweeper outside my house. But there we go, Aussie's made the move, stick on the Haas. Or has he? Look at this, drag race now as we get the aerial shot, that's awesome. Coming down over 330 kilometers an hour before they're back down to just 65 into the first chicane. And I think Ferrari's was a lot quicker through there. On the soft tyre too. As Attack gets up a spot now on the Sauber of China. TLP recovers it. So turn 1, like predicted. A great spot for the overtakes. This is Zen in the lead. You can see he's got a 2.1 second lead already. 6 laps into the 27 race. It's half distance. And he'll be quite comfortable with things. He'll be running his own strategy at the moment. Hawks and Marcus. Now, Hawks has got to be careful he didn't push things too hard. Because we saw it happen we saw it happen in the Hungaroring. Where we saw Marcus really go hard at the start with Zen. And Zen's tyres just dropped. You must hate that as a driver. Just seeing the tyres push too hard and all of a sudden you just got zero grip. Here we go. Another move for the young Marcus. He just taps the dirt, under braking. He's kept the car straight though. And Hawks loses a spot. He's down to 3rd. Marcus takes 2nd spot, but it's not going to be for long. Curva Grande into the 2nd chicane. Inside line for Hawks. This is where Vettel went round. Not today. Marcus now doesn't know where he wants to put that car. He's trying to block the run. Hawks comes across a little bit too close to the inside there. And Bender, 21's, got himself a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Coming up to the Ascari. DRS ineffective there for Hawks, just kept him up with him. Marcus has had a big enough lead. You can see just how far Zen's getting away from these boys now. And that's giving Yayo the opportunity to catch up to this pack of cars now. It's going to be 3 fighting for 2nd. 2nd down to 4th here. And here we go, DRS once again. That's a move for Hawks, done and dusted. That's 2 in 2 laps. But he's going to want to keep it this time. As Marcus replied instantaneously last lap. But now Marcus under extreme pressure to get away from Yayo, who has just appeared from nowhere all of a sudden. And look at this. The move's on already. Marcus might be struggling with grip a little bit. He's lost the spot. That's Yayo up into the third. Marcus, he might be struggling here a little.
I reckon for Marcus, he'll probably have to come in this lap because he's losing too much time battling people that he doesn't have to battle. So if he can get out the traffic, he can record some laps outside the traffic and maybe get some quality laps under the belt.
That's a good point. He's he's careful not to touch. Marcus is still fighting for positions. He had DRS down there, obviously, up to Ascari. But Blake's right.
Observing his car, it's a bit taily as well. He's got no rear grip. He has to make some sort of changes to the rear to be able to keep up with Zen.
Yeah, then let's see what Marcus does here. He's going to come past the pit entry and he's going to go in. So it's a good call. Now he's down to speed. He doesn't get himself a speeding pit infringement. He doesn't. Let's see what he does. Team's on their mark. It's going to be the medium for him. Obviously, that'll get him to the end now. So the thermal degradation here sort of comes into play now. So Monza's long straights prevent any significant thermal overheating of the tyre carcass, but as a result, some drivers could struggle getting the tyres up to working temp, especially the medium. So that's a job for Marcus at this point. All the long straights keeps them nice and cool, maybe a little bit too cold. So he's actually come out into traffic too. That's not what he wanted. He's just behind the car of China at the moment. So he's really didn't time that well. I know he didn't really have any way of knowing that, but hasn't worked out for him. The lead is still Zen, and it looks like he's going to continue on to start lap number 10. So we should see him in at the end of this lap. Really, we'll see how confident he is on the super softs here. Yayo has found second spot. He's 6 seconds down now. Ferrarins has gotten past. It's the Hawks. Hawks actually went into the pits. Let's see where Hawks comes out of all this. He's on the medium tyre himself. Marcus is not going to be too far away. Looks like he's got that done easily there for Hawks. Marcus is still stuck down in 9th spot. He's still got a lot of traffic to get around here. And I think that's really going to hurt his title chances. He's got a lot of cars to get through. And he's hasn't got through them quick enough, I don't think. The Mingman. I thought Mingman had gone around there. Or there might have been something. Just watch Bender sort of cut the first chicane. But it's our leader who will be licking his lips at the moment. Everything's fallen into place for him right now. And for the first time, I think all season, he's actually hadn't had anything really go wrong. He wasn't involved in an incident at the start. He didn't lose a bit of front end wing. He hasn't had to push it too hard, and his tyres have dropped off too soon. So let's see how he goes now. Going on to the medium tyre. He will... Let's see where he drops back into the field. Hawks, I don't think's done enough to get in front. Zen had a nice lead. And it looks like, yeah, I think Zen's coming out into a nice clean patch of track. So that's really going to benefit Zen here right now. Hawks, though, you can see him coming down the front straight into the first chicane. And he's on the mediums too, so he looks like he's getting those up to temperature. And Marcus still stuck behind another car. TLP, so Marcus really struggling in the traffic tonight. Got to feel sorry for him though, because that must be just killing you inside that helmet. China gets a nice move, I think, there. I think Marcus has done the move. He has, just up into the first Lesmo there. So Marcus can finally put the pedal down. and try and make up for some lost time here, but he's got a long way to go to recover from that. That was almost 2 or 3 laps behind lap traffic. So he would have lost a lot of time from that. Here goes Zen. I think Yayo's in the pits here. He is. So I think, did he come out on yellows? No, it just looked yellow. They're white. There's Zen. Zen's down in the braking zone, and you can see Yayo. It's going to be close between Hawks and Yayo. Will Hawks get it? Get second spot. Oh, Yayo's done a fantastic job. Oh, Yayo has had to take to the runoff. I think all right, he should probably give that position to Hawks there. I don't know, did you see that one, Blake?
Yeah, I did. It's because tyres aren't really warmed up. You got no turning them, so I reckon probably just yield in that situation there.
Yeah, that was, obviously we know what happened, but I don't know if Hawks is going to be happy about that one. But he will have the warmer tyres if he's managed to get them heated up. He was close enough for DRS. Coming up to Ascari now. And he's closed the gap slightly on Yayo. A lot of runoff there. I think they've got to be careful through that part for track limits.
You see Marcus in the background slowly coming back into the game as well. He's gained a second since the last 2 laps.
Well, there you go. Nicholas says Yayo pushing them hard. Well played to the Merc driver. Solid fight out the front from the boys. It's all going on. We're just waiting to see what the final result is here. TLP's up a spot from Ferrarians, and so's the Ming Man. I think Azatac's in the pits. He is. Now this is Marcus. He's gapped to the leader, 8.8 seconds. Hawks, 6.4. Yayo, 4.7. And then it's ZenRazo with the very comfortable lead on lap 13. And I think he'll be almost celebrating at this point, I would imagine, having Marcus back down in 4th. But still a lot to think about for him. Now Yayo looks to have a Red Bull for company now. He's had to go to the inside line to try to defend it. And he can. Oh, he's actually lost the position. Hawks gets it done.
I reckon he's readdressed from earlier because he made it way too easy.
It did look a lot easy, didn't it? Yeah, I think you're right. So that was a good call from Yayo there. Oh, he's going to go for it again, though. He doesn't want to give it up for long. He's actually done it. Popped the car back in front of Hawks. He says, I'll take second spot. Thank you. And there you can see Marcus is just getting through the first 2 corners now too. So, but the gap to leader is actually growing. 9 seconds now. So that means Zen's out there getting a little bit quicker. And welcome Keegan on YouTube. Hope you're enjoying this one tonight. Marcus Watson, 4th spot. He's managed to bring down the gap a little bit. Now TLP's on the mediums, and he's 13 laps in. That's him there. He's almost got Ferrarians for company now, up into Ascari. And the medium tyre, he'll end on the soft, so he should probably pit around 18 to 20. So he's still got at least 4 to 6 laps left in those tyres at the moment, and I think he'll be happy with 5th right now. Let's go double check his current position. Oh, apologies guys, I've had the drivers numbers up on the left the entire stream. I do apologise about that. That wasn't meant to happen. Because I've got a new setup. As the move's done. TLP. Oh, yep. Ferrari's redressed it. Almost contact. But yeah, apologies about that. I can't believe I did that. Because I've actually got a new setup now where I don't actually physically see the computer anymore. So, can't believe I did that. But you would have seen the drivers there. You can see how close Zen and Marcus were for the whole time. Anyway, we'll get back to the full screen action as it should have been. Marcus. Hawks in third. And Hawks is not too far off that Mercedes. You can see the interval 6/10, so he's within DRS range. He'll get it down the straight here as he comes across the DRS detection marker just before they turn in. And, or was that the marker there? Or was that the safety car line? Anyway, it's one of them. And as you can see, DRS activated, but I don't think the straight's long enough. He'll crawl and reach his way to the back end of Yayo, but it wasn't enough. 5/10 the gap now. Slowly coming down for Hawks here. If Zen, though, makes a mistake, don't want to jinx it, but if he makes a mistake, these two will be in the prime position to improve their championship standings for the end of it. Marcus is 2.6 seconds off the back end of Hawk, so we'll keep an eye on those times for you and see what he can do. He's got about 11 laps left to do something here. TLP starting to get a bit of a crowd behind him. It's Ferrari's. He should get DRS himself. He does. Does Aussie get it too? I think he does. Two cars with DRS up to Ascari. And that Haas is looking mighty quick. Oh, careful not to cut the corner too much there, Ferrari's. You'll end up in the steward's room later on. Can he do it though under braking? Don't think he's close enough. He's not. He's going to have to reset and try again. But here we go. What do you find harder, Blake? Defending or getting that overtake made as we're watching Ferrari's do it?
Well, definitely getting the overtake because, you know, you got the pointy end. If you're in front, you can choose where you position the car. Whereas from the rear, you can't really choose.
That's true. Oh, that was beautiful manoeuvring from Ferrari's and TLP. Gave each other just enough room. And somehow Ferrari's squeezed out in front. And he's made it stick into fifth. TLP is nearing the end of his tyre life there, so that's probably playing it into it a little bit. And he's in sixth spot. So Aussie, I think, is our next one to attack. See what he can do with DRS. TLP's got it as well, you can see. But I think that Renault's a lot quicker. Oh, there was a bit of an accident. There was contact between Aussie and Ferrari's there. It just flicked cameras. So we don't know the full story. But there's some major damage to the front of Aussie's car. And TLP, I think, is going to have it on the back end here. Oh, I don't think Aussie did that on purpose. I think he's really struggling to keep that thing straight. And he's retired. So I think TLP will do the same thing.
That's what happens, you know, when you race very close at over 300 km/h, you can't really react to that sort of stuff.
Now another overtake happening. Here's the Cougar on the Ming. Into turn one again. Oh, the Ming's really had to cut that corner. I think he was trying to avoid an incident. Rather get the cheeky move done. But the Ming, I think, was entitled to the turn in. Now he's got the inside line now for chicane number 2. Outside is Ferrari's. He had it momentarily. I think he actually does. Sorry, it's the Cougar, not Ferrarians. I hate the way the game sort of displays where it's sitting. It sort of confuses me at times. Oh, out wide for Ming. That really ruined his run. He's lost a hell of a lot of speed, and the Cougar's going to fly away. And he had DRS assistance just to add injury to that. I think the Mingman's done a great job, actually. He's mitigated a lot of time loss there. He went just too wide on Lesmo 2. He's hit the sand trap. And the Cougar pounced. The gap, 7/10. But he'll have DRS now for coming into turn 1. So we've seen these two guys, teammates, in an incident coming up to Ascari under DRS. And they've both had to retire from this final race of the season here, which is unfortunate for them. As you can see, I think the Mingman now is struggling to keep up. This is the Cougar. He's got Ferrarians with him. And he's looking quite good at the moment. Ferrarians on slightly newer rubber. Marcus Watson. He's 10 laps into his stint. The interval between him and Hawks is 4.2 seconds. There is a yellow flag out in Sector 3. I think that's just for a slower moving car, maybe. Some battling going on. Marcus gets through it all nice and cleanly. This is Yayo and Hawks. Heyo Venkatesh, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're enjoying it. Yayo's actually been given a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting there. And TLP's also been given one for multiple warnings. So the stewards are out in force today. That's really going to hurt Yayo's race, because he now needs to get in front of Hawks and then get a 3-second lead with only 7 laps to go. I just don't think that's possible. But that brings Marcus Watson back into it a little.
Yeah, puts in provisional P3, so it's a win for him. He's still got a long way to catch up to Zen, though.
Yeah, I just think it's out of reach.
Yeah.
Here we go. 1.5 seconds. He's just outside that critical DRS range. Need to be within a second to get it. He actually did. His interval's 3/10, so he's actually pulled that in. All right. Well, I was wrong. He's really reeling in that Mercedes now. Like a tasty flathead on the end of your lure. Just got away from him there, did Yayo. Marcus is going to do everything he can, though, to get that final podium spot. He hasn't... He's really going to want it. He's fought hard all season. And he is now. He's currently tied on points. But it's not going to be that much way for longer if positions stay the way they are. DRS now for him now. Let's see what he can do. Presses the button. The beat goes off. Up towards Ascari. They're going to be side by side. Marcus has got to be careful here. He's got the position provisionally. Yayo doesn't want to make it easy, obviously. But crashing out at this point would just be a disaster for him. He must be eager to get past. He looks like it. I don't know. What would you do in this position?
If I was in the shoes of Yayo, I would just give it up. You know, accumulate the points that I can get without destroying my car. Because he's given up the position now, but he was at huge risk of, you know, having an accident with Marcus.
Well, he did give it up, but I don't think he's given up on getting the spot back because he's done it through Curva Grande. So, it did look like he did give it up. Like I said, I would have gone the same route because he is at risk here of ending this race with 0 points. The big man's just put in the fastest lap, 1:22.6. That's a quick lap. Here we go, Marcus with the DRS. We've seen an accident here earlier. It's going to be Yayo on the inside again. Oh, that was so close. I almost thought I saw Yayo just doing 360s up into Ascari. Where's he gone? Oh, I thought he went very wide. So that was as close to the edge I think you could get there between those two. Very, very aggressive. But he's done it. He's got himself in the 3rd spot on lap 23 of 27, so he hasn't got long. He's gapped to the leader. Let's find out. It's 10 seconds. He almost needs over a second a lap here. It's almost an impossible feat for the young Marcus Watson. This is Hawks getting through the 2nd chicane, and Toro Rosso not so. The leaves fall here coming into Lesmo 1 and 2, and it's Yayo on the tail of Marcus Watson. Then it's Ferrarins in the 5th. Cougar takes 6th. Azatax having a good race actually. He's up into 7th position, but I think those softs are going to be nearing death when this race finishes. The big man, he's on the super soft. I think he's going for the fastest lap because he's currently got it. Then it's China 91 in the Sauber. TLP, who's down in 10th. Sean in the Toro Rosso, he's down a lap. So's Hunt, he's actually out of the race. Then it's Bender in the Williams taking it up the rear, so to speak. But it's ZenRazo who leads us 5.4 seconds from Hawks, and I think it's safe to say this one's in the back. Yayo's done another overtake into turn 1 though. So, he's not making it easy for the young one. Maybe he's thinking, I don't know, well, it doesn't really matter because he's got that 3-second time penalty. I don't know what he's doing here. Would he maybe be playing the team game and just giving Zen the buffer in case he makes a mistake?
Yeah, of course. Based on the situation, he's completely out of it now. So I guess he's playing the tail gun and roll that Zen needs in case he does, have a bit of wheel spin on exit and maybe clip a wall or something.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can think of here at the moment because really Yayo, he's 4th at best. Another move from Marcus. Oh, he's going to be pushed wide. He is. He's gone straight through the gravel trap and brought that onto the racing line there. So cars behind are going to have to be careful. See him actually trying to get some of that rubber off, the debris off his tyres there. So Yayo's increased the lead slightly. These two, there's no love lost between them. And the race is coming to a close. 6.3. China 91 here. He's got the DRS on TLP, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Into Ascari. They come out into the sunlight, and he's still behind in 10th position. And he's going to try another move coming down around up into Parabolica. They're going to be side by side, other Saubers. Oh, careful, boys. They're touching on the straight. TLP gives him a slight nudge, and then they touch front wheels. Is there going to be a puncture? He's got to be careful. He doesn't give his teammate a puncture there. They almost pushed each other off the track. And TLP tucks in behind China to get the slipstream now. So, first rule here is don't crash into your teammate. Again, into turn 1. He almost cuts him off. Super tight around the turn one. And TLP's made the move stick. So there's no love lost between these two. So we've got some very aggressive driving going all the way through the field. Look at this. They're just neck and neck. This is insane. Oh, he spun. TLP has gone around China. Oh, China. He tried to get going, but he was stuck on the front bumper. TLP, I don't think he's going to be very happy about that one at all. China will take... He's back into 10th right now. There might be some slight winglet damage there, but that was a silly one. Because you'd rather end on points than no points. I'm pretty sure. Wouldn't you, Blake?
Of course, even if it's just a 1 point, it's very useful in the end of the season, really, because there's so many drivers that are separated by only very few points.
Exactly.
Could be the difference.
That's exactly right, because a point extra for Marcus today would have meant, or a few points here or there, could have been he would have won this race, won this championship, even though he's finishing, probably going to finish third. So, yeah, crushing into your teammates, not the best decision. The Ming Man, looking at our fastest laps, as we've seen Marcus is in third. He's finally got the move done as we watched the two Saubers go for it. 1:22.614, so super soft tyres for him. And you can see the best times there from Zen, 1:23. Hawks with the 1:22.8. Marcus was the 1:23 himself. So his best laps are basically the same pace as Zen at the moment. We're on the final lap here. And I'd say it's all pretty much done and dusted. Hawks has a 5-second lead, but it's this man, Zen, we haven't seen much of all race. And I must say, it's been a pretty flawless run from him. And he'll win the championship. I've just noticed TLP and China swapping. Got pole position here at Monza. And he stayed in first the entire Grand Prix. Crosses with the checkered flag. Congratulations. That's season 2 to ZenRazo. Hawks will come across in second for Red Bull. Marcus in third there. Yayo just behind in fourth. And then it looks to be the Haas of Ferraris. Just Hunt's taken the checkered flag himself in 11th. China. So Sean in 12th. But Ferrarin's here. Good race from him. That's going to be good enough for 5th spot. Then it's going to be the Cougar. So the Haas is up the order today. As attack. Good. Oh, it could be on here. It's as attack. Oh, the Ming. That was super tight. TLP and China. These guys, I don't think will be racing in the same team next year. They don't seem they just don't seem to like each other that much. Here we go. TLP and China, who it's... Oh, he's trying to push him out wide. Careful, boys. Oh, comes across, tries to... Oh, that's dirty. So, China 91 got the 9th there. That means TLP was in 10th. But it's all about ZenRazo. Congratulations, mate. There he is. Flawless run. What would you make of that one today, Blake? Pretty easy.
Yeah, he did it with ease. I reckon he had a very good car balance. In comparison to Marcus Watson, he didn't really have it set up good in the rear. I reckon he conserved his tyres pretty well as well. As we saw Marcus struggle in the first stint.
We did indeed, and he wasn't able to recover until basically the last few laps. But there it is, Zen, Hawks and Marcus. I mean, Zen takes the championship. So do Mercedes take the Constructors. We'll work out the rest of the points, though, this week and figure out where everyone... There's going to be some mover and shakers come the drivers next year. So, a few weeks off, And then we'll be back to it every Friday night. And Blake will be driving for us under the name of... What is it again?
Metamonin. Yeah, it's a very unique name.
It is very... Does it mean anything? Or is it just something you like? Sounds good.
I came up with it ages ago.
Oh, fair. Ah, no, you know, like we all do with our old Hotmail addresses.
Of course.
I think my old one was like Rocket Power or something back in the day when we all had MSN. I'm sure there's lots of kids out there going, what are you talking about? Anyway. All right. So that's Friday Night League Season 2 done. And just like to say thanks for giving us your insight tonight, Blake. It was very interesting. And good luck with Season 3.
Oh, very nice to be here, and I hope I put on a show next season.
No, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. So you'll be in the McLaren, I'd imagine, if anyone wants to pick you as a fan for next season. But
whatever car.
That's true.
Competitive in.
Yeah, that's true. They all are equal anyway, but it'll be one of the lower placed teams. But yeah, expect to see him next year. Not next year, next season. It's only a few weeks away. So thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you to Nicholas. He says, well done to Zen, easily showing why he was this season's benchmark. Good job, Scott Hawkes, for bringing home our Red Bull P2. He did a fantastic job. And then it was Marcus in third, and the rest are on your screen. Anyway, as you know, my name is Josh, and this is Demo and Garage. Thanks to the guys on Platinum Races Paddock as well for joining in. And YouTube. So we've just started doing YouTube as well. So thanks to those out there. Come back in a few more weeks. We might have some what they call banger races on Friday. I'll try and make those. So a bit of fun. But until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Good night.